In this video, we'll walk through creating a scene that uses a 2D pattern to offset and modify a 3D surface. We'll be using RayTK version 0.27, so make sure you're using at least that version. Check the video description for a download link. Drop the toolkit talks into your project. First, we'll set up the 2D pattern that will drive the rest of the scene. Open the palette using the Alt-R shortcut and create a render 2D. And then create a null top so you can see the output. I'm going to set the resolution here so that it fits in the side panel, but feel free to use whatever resolution you want. Then we're going to set the zoom down to 0.3. That'll give us a wider view. And then we're going to open the palette again and create a hexagonal weave pattern and connect that to the first input on the renderer. Pattern operators are fields that produce infinite or repeating patterns in 2D. Hexagonal weave uses two interwoven layers with circles cut out in a hexagonal layout. Increase the size up to 0.5 to get a little bit tighter of a view, and then try adjusting the thickness parameter and see how it changes the size of those holes and the size of the spaces in between them. But it's still being applied consistently to the whole pattern. To vary the thickness, we can use another field operator. Create a wave field and connect that to the second input, the thickness field input on the pattern. Now you'll get an error, and that's because the pattern is expecting a field that works in 2D coordinates, but wave field is currently set to use 3D. So in the wave field settings, change the coordinate type to 2D. To adjust the range of the thickness values, we could use the amplitude and offset parameters here, or we could use another operator to rescale it. With the wave field selected, use the Alt-Shift-R shortcut to open the RayTK Editor Tools menu, and then choose Rescale Field, and make sure you're using Rescale Field and not Rescale as Vector. That's because this is producing a single float value, which is what we want. We don't need to expand it into a vector. So connect that to the pattern instead. And then on the input low range, we're going to set the first part of that to -1. And that's because this is using a sine wave, which produces values from -1 to 1. So we're now scaling those to a range of 0 to 1. But instead of going all the way down to 0, let's increase that to about 0.05 so it doesn't get quite as narrow. Right now it's using the x-axis for that wave. Instead, what we want is to have a radial pattern coming out from the center. So on the wave field, we're going to change the axis to distance from origin. And if you try adjusting the phase there, we'll see how it's kind of coming out or in from that center point. To add some motion to this, we can animate that phase parameter. So select the wave field operator and open the Editor Tools menu again, and then choose Animate with Speed and Phase. And that will create a speed generator object and a chop, and then it will connect up that parameter to it. Decrease the speed multiplier on that down to something like 0.1 and switch on reverse so that it's coming out instead of going in. And then on the wave field, we can increase that period to something like 3 to give it a more stretched out pattern. Now that we've set up our 2D pattern, we'll set up the 3D scene where we'll use it. create a RayMarch render 3D, and then a null top so you can see the output. And again, I'm going to set the resolution here so that it fits in the side panel. Select the RayMarch render 3D operator and open the editor tools again, and choose add look at camera, and then select just the renderer again, open the tools menu, and choose add point light. On the camera, we're going to change the FOV angle up to 80 and the position to 0, 4, 5. And then on the point light, we can change the position there to 5, 8, and -1. And then we're going to create our SDF. So create a plain SDF and connect it to the first input on the renderer. Next, we'll use the 2D pattern to vary the height of the plane. Now try connecting the pattern to the offset field input on the plane, and you're going to get an error. And that's happening for a couple of reasons. First, this pattern is producing vector values, and what we want is just a single number to set that offset. Second, the pattern here is using 2D coordinates, whereas the plane is operating in 3D, so it expects its input to use 3D coordinates. Now create a vector to float operator, and we're going to insert that between the pattern and the plane here. And then we're just going to keep the default setting to use the X or the red channel. To fix the coordinate type, create a project plane operator and insert that between the vector to float and the SDF. This operator takes a 2D operator and projects it onto a plane in 3D space. By default, it's using the XY plane, which is not what we want in this case. So we're going to change the setting there to XZ. The layout of this is sort of looking correct, but there's a ton of distortion. And that's happening because the height of the plane is changing too sharply. So select this project plane operator and open the editor tools menu again, and then choose rescale field. And I'm just going to move this, and then we're going to connect that rescale field to the plane. And then on the rescale field, we can change the multiply setting down to something like 0.1. That helps, but there are still some rough edges. So on our pattern, I'm going to increase our blending setting up to something just like about 0.06. That will smooth out the transition between the different parts of the pattern, so it gives us a little bit more of a gradual edge there. And you can even bump this up a little bit higher to, say, 0.1. Next, we'll add a simple wave to offset the height along with the pattern. I'll create another wave field, and we're going to change the axis there to distance from origin, and then we're going to select our rescale field and our wave here. So select both of those, open the editor tools again, and choose under combine fields, choose add, and then connect that to the plane SDF. Then on the wave field, we can decrease the amplitude down to something like 0.5. And then we can take this first wave field that's driving the pattern thickness, copy this period parameter, and then on the second wave field, we can do paste, bind, and that way those two will always match up. And then on that first wave field, we can copy the phase here, copy parameter, and then just do paste expressions. So that way the two will always sync up. Next, we'll add a material. Create a modular mat and insert that between your plain SDF and the renderer. Then with the modular mat selected, open the editor tools, and under Add Diffuse, choose Oren Nair. Then select the modular material again, open the editor tools, and under Add Specular, choose GGX. On the diffuse contrib, we're going to increase the roughness to 1, and then albedo also to 1. And then on the specular contrib, we're going to set the roughness up to 0.6, and then the Fresnel is going to be 1. And then for the color, we're going to just choose a slightly offset color, so 1, 1, 0.5 to give it a little bit of a tint there. And that gives us some color differentiation for the highlights. Next, we'll use the pattern to control the color of the surface as well as the height. We'll do that by assigning a color attribute to the surface. I'm going to insert a null dat here just to clean up this layout a little bit. Create an assign color, and then we're going to insert that between the plain SDF and the material. Then create a color ramp field, and we're going to use this to map our pattern to a color range. So connect the project plane to the color ramp field's input, and then connect the color ramp field to the second input, the color field input on the assigned color. Then pick two colors to define the range. So I'm going to use 0, 0.25, and 0.5, and then 0.4, 0.1, and 0.5. And that's it for our scene. So to recap, we're using a 2D hexagonal weave pattern with the thickness controlled by a wave field, also in 2D. That's being converted to a float and then projected onto the XZ plane. Then we're using that and rescaling the value and adding in a wave field also based off of the same period and phase as the one that's driving the pattern, also using distance from origin. And we're adding those two together and then using that to drive the offset on the plane. Then we're using that same adapted pattern, again projected onto the XZ axis, and mapping that into a color range, and then assigning that to the surface. Then we're using a modular material with diffuse shading and specular shading. And finally, feeding that into a RayMarch Render 3D with a look at camera and a point light. Thanks for watching, and check out my Patreon for scene file downloads, early access to tutorials, and more. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.